Good afternoon, everyone. A very warm welcome to all our attendees joining us today for the webinar Mastering Hybrid Cloud Seamlessly Managed On-Premises and AWS with Managed Services. As businesses scale, the debate is no longer about choosing between on-premises infrastructure or the public cloud. However, managing a hybrid environment brings its own set of unique challenges, from data silos and security complexes to operational overheads. That is exactly what we are here to address today. We want to show you how managed services can bridge that gap, giving you the flexibility with AWS alongside the control of your on premises setup seamlessly. To guide us through this blueprint for hybrid cloud success, we have two incredible experts with us today. First, Devansh Kothavade, our business development manager, who will shed light on the strategic advantages, ROI, and business impact of a well orchestrated hybrid model. Next, we have with us Gagan Singh, our expert cloud consultant, who will dive into the technical mechanics, best practices, and real world architectures that make this seamless management possible. I hand it over to Devansh now, and please hold on with your questions till the end of the session, and you can put your questions in the chat box. Over to you, Devansh.
All right. Thank you for the introduction, Monica. Welcome to today's webinar, everyone. Today we'll be talking about mastering hybrid cloud, seamlessly managed on-premises and AWS with managed services. So, my name is Devansh, and I'm a senior executive at Cloud.in in the sales team. In this session, I'll be walking you through who we are, what we've built, and why Cloud.in is uniquely positioned to be your hybrid cloud partner. So after my session, my colleague Gagan, our pre-sales consultant, will take you over with a deeper technical dive. Today's world is one where enterprises in financial services, manufacturing, pharma, healthcare, and e-commerce are no longer purely on premise, nor purely on the cloud. They're navigating both, and that middle ground is called hybrid cloud. So whether you are a bank keeping core systems on-prem while running analytics on cloud, a manufacturer with factory floor systems that can never leave the premises, or a pharma company balancing compliance with the need for AI scale compute. This session is built for you. Let's get into it. All right, let me just start with who we are because in the cloud business, credibility matters enormously. Cloud.in has been in the technology space for over 27 years. We are not a startup that pivoted to cloud last year. We've lived through every wave of enterprise IT from on prem data centers to hybrid and to full cloud. And we've helped businesses navigate every step of the journey. So those numbers on your screen tell a real story. 10,000 plus managed cloud resources means we've actively operating in infrastructure at scale, not just consulting and walking away. We have 8,000 plus protected endpoints, which reflects a serious security posture. 200 plus live workloads means we've seen every flavor of deployment across industries and company sizes. We are also present across Delhi, Mumbai, and Pune, Pune being our headquarters and our development center, with a global footprint in Delaware, US, backed by our 24 by 7 NOC and SOC support, which runs 365 days. Now here's something that sets us apart and is directly relevant to today's topic. In Pune, we operate a co-location setup with Tata Communications, which is located at Dighi. So this facility at Digi is a carrier grade, highly secure and redundant data center. And our presence there means we can host your on-prem or private cloud infrastructure in a world-class physical facility while seamlessly connecting it to AWS. So that physical anchor is what makes us a true hybrid cloud partner, not just a cloud reseller. All right, so our journey to where we stand today has been a deliberate, a decade long, and it's worth walking through because it directly explains why we are qualified to talk about hybrid cloud at this level. It started in 1999 in digital services, building a deep understanding of how enterprises operate and what keeps their systems running. The pivotal shift came in 2015 when we became an AWS partner. From 2018 to 2022, we earned six service delivery validations, including the AWS Microsoft Workloads Competency and Education Consulting Competency. These aren't self-declared badges. They require real customer evidence reviewed by AWS. In 2023 and 24, we brought our migration and modernization competency and SMB competency as well, arguably the two most relevant for hybrid cloud journey, because hybrid cloud is fundamentally about migration done right and infrastructure sized correctly for your business. So recently in 2025, we added the AWS GenAI competency, meaning we are not just managing infrastructure, we are also helping customers build intelligent applications on top of it. So in 2026, just a couple of months back, I think the AWS MSP program is the latest competency we've got from AWS. Only a selected few partners in India have achieved this. It is AWS's formal validation that we have the processes, tooling, and talent to fully manage your AWS environment end to end. So put the AWS MSP designation along with our colocation setup at Digi, and you have a partner who can manage your workloads from the physical server rack all the way up to the cloud application layer. That's a full hybrid cloud stack, and very few partners in India can offer that. All right, so about our core competencies from AWS. So AWS Advanced Tier designation and our partner program recognitions means we've been formally evaluated and validated, not just by us but by AWS as well and the third party evaluators. So that means when you are trusting someone with your critical infrastructure, the well architected partner program means we can run a structured review of your environment against AWS's six pillars: operational excellence, security, reliability, performance efficiency, cost optimization, and sustainability, and give you a clear prioritized roadmap for improvement. The MSP program is the crown jewel that we've recently got. It means we have full ownership of your AWS environment, which can be architecture, deployment, day to day management, optimization, and security, not just advisory, actually accountability. So now for companies evaluating hybrid cloud, here's why this combination matters. Regulatory requirements, data sovereignty concerns, latency sensitive workloads. These are real reasons why a full move to public cloud isn't always possible or desirable. Having a partner who operates a carrier grade physical facility in Pune throughout Tata Communications and holds the AWS MSP designation means you get both worlds managed by one accountable partner. That's a rare and powerful combination that we have here at Hoston. So each validation on this slide represents a real deployment reviewed and answered by AWS with actual customer evidence. So for the hybrid cloud context specifically, a few of these stand out. just like Systems Manager. This is a tool that lets you manage both on-prem servers and EC2 instances through a single interface. It's a operational backbone of any cloud environment. Cloud formation as well. In this, infrastructure as a code which ensures your hybrid deployment are consistent, repeatable, and auditable across both environments. Then comes control tower, governance across multi-account AWS setup, which becomes essential as hybrid environments grow in complexity. EKS delivery as well, in which containerized workloads on Kubernetes, which increasingly span both on-prem as well as cloud in modern hybrid architectures. WAF delivery, this is one we are known for in AWS, in which application layer security that protects your cloud, which is facing workloads. So the message here is straightforward. Every tool in the hybrid cloud stack, we've deployed it in production, and has had validated it. So you're not a learning ground. We are quite experienced in this space. So our tech partnerships looks like this. Building a hybrid cloud practice requires the right technology ecosystem, and we've been intentional about our partnerships we've built. Our partnership spans around four critical areas, which is data streaming, observability, security, and platform. So for data streaming, we've got Kafka and Confluent. For observability, we are partners with New Relic, Site 24 by 7, Datadog, and Nagios. For backup and data protection, we've got Commvault, Veritas, HCL, and Trend AI. These are some of the partnerships that we've established recently. Also for security partnerships, we've got Palo Alto F5, and as you all know, we are advanced consulting partners with AWS as well. So security is one of the like the most applicable thing when it comes to hybrid cloud infrastructure, because your attack surfaces expands because you have two environments. Our security partnerships bring enterprise grade threat detection and response to both sides, both on prem as well as on cloud as well. So let's talk about who typically needs hybrid cloud, because the answer covers virtually every industry we serve. Financial services and BFSI, core banking and transaction systems carry regulatory requirements that often mandate on premise or sovereign data storage. But analytics, fraud detection, customer facing applications, and reporting are ideal cloud workloads. Hybrid is a natural architecture here. In pharma and healthcare, patient records and clinical data requires strict compliance. Research computing, AI ML pipelines, and collaboration platforms benefit enormously from cloud scale. These two realities coexist in a hybrid model. So, in manufacturing, operational technology like SCADA systems and factory automation cannot move to public cloud, but ERP, supply chain management, and predictive maintenance analytics thrive on cloud infrastructure. Hybrid isn't a choice in manufacturing, it's only architecture that works. In edtech and education, institutions face massive, unpredictable peak loads during admissions or while examinations and live learning events. Cloud handles those spikes. Administrative systems, student data, and LMS platforms often stay on-prem for cost and compliance reasons. For e-commerce website and applications, it always operates on with seasonal traffic spikes. Core transactional systems need stability. CDN, personalization, and analytics need cloud elasticity. Hybrid delivers both. In media and entertainment, which is one of our key industries we serve at cloud.in, on-prem storage and editing infrastructure alongside cloud-based distribution, streaming, and AI-driven content workflows. So for IT companies and startups, development and test environments in cloud is the most considerable option. For production database on-prem or latency or cost reasons, or the reverse. Hybrid gives them speed without sacrificing control. From a company size perspective, hybrid cloud is not exclusively an enterprise story. Mid market companies, typically in the 100 or 2000 employee range, are among the fastest growing hybrid cloud adopters actually. They have existing architecture they can't simply abandon, but they need cloud agility to compete as well. Our SMB competency and our physical presence through the colocation facility in Pune makes us the ideal partner for exactly this segment. All right, so I will be going through some of the use cases that we cater now. Every use case that you can see in the real world scenario, we have already delivered, and most of them are inherently hybrid cloud stories. So, on-prem to cloud migration, the entry point for most hybrid journeys. So we have taken a phased approach when it comes to this. Never a reckless cutover or on-prem to cloud environment coexists and communicate throughout the transition. So business continuity is never at risk. Also, we have covered disaster recovery and business continuity, also multi-cloud migration. We have done 24 by, we also have our 24 by 7 knock and sock center in Pune, which runs 365 days without any holidays, like any public holidays. We work every day in this center for WAF security setup. As your workloads face the internet through cloud-based entry points, application layer security becomes critical. We set this up and manage it. Containerized deployments, whether it's EKS on AWS, on-prem Kubernetes, or a hybrid container platform spanning both, we've delivered all three models. GenAI based solutions, this is something we are really building at cloud.in, and we already have three or four case studies on this. It increases enterprise what enterprise wants to run AI or ML workloads on cloud GPU infrastructure while keeping their underlying data on premise for compliance. We architect and manage that bridge. So, with our colocation center in Pune, it is the physical foundation for several of these scenarios, particularly DR failover, or you can say edge computing, and low latency private connectivity to the AWS Mumbai region. It's what makes our hybrid cloud offering tangible, not just theoretical. All right, so these are some of the products that we have built internally, and we keep these products dear to our hearts actually. So beyond the services we deliver, we've also built our own production layer, as you can see. These are the tools that come directly out of our managed services experience, solving real customer problems. So our cloud governance platform provides secure governance and configuration control across cloud environments. In hybrid cloud, governance is the hardest challenge. Multiple environments, multiple accounts, multiple teams. This platform gives you centralized policy enforcement and compliance visibility. Our AI assessment platform enables fast, secure, AI driven assessments of infrastructure and readiness, helping organizations benchmark where they are and plan where they need to go. Our security operations platform gives security teams a single interface to monitor systems, detect threats, and resolve vulnerabilities across their entire environment, which can be on prem or cloud together. Our multi-cloud billing and management platform tracks costs, optimizes spend, and brings financial clarity across multiple cloud services in one view. So let's say if you have multiple clouds, Azure, GCP, and AWS, it helps you manage in a single platform. It helps you manage all three of them. In the hybrid environment, cost visibility and control can easily slip. So this platform prevents that as well. So these aren't third party tools that are rebranded. These are some tools that we have developed in house at cloud.in. All right, so these are our managed services offering. So as you can see, we have helped 15% cost reduction, 25% faster adoption. These are some of the let's say percentage that we have drawn from our real customers. So like we offer 70% reduction in manual checks and improved SLA adherence, 40 to 50% fewer security incidents, also 99% uptime across workloads. All right, so I'm done with my part now. I'll now hand over my mic to Gagan, who will take you through the technical depth, architecture, tooling, and what a hybrid cloud engagement with cloud.in actually looks like in practice. So over to you, Gagan. Hi, Gagan, are you there?
Yeah, Devansh. I hope I'm audible.
Yes, you are, Gagan, yes.
All right. All right. So, hello everyone. I'm Gagan, and thank you, Devansh. So, now that we have covered who we are and what our capabilities are, and let's move to the one core topic of today's webinar. For years, organizations have debated whether they should remain on-prem or move to completely to the cloud. But today, that is no longer the right question. If you ask me, the real question is how do we make on-prem infrastructure and cloud environments work together efficiently, securely, and at scale? Because the reality is that most enterprises today operate in both worlds. They have existing data centers, they have mission critical applications, they have compliance requirements and legacy systems running on-prem, while simultaneously they try to adopt AWS services, AI workloads, analytical platforms, and cloud native applications. So this is where the synergy is. This is where hybrid cloud becomes the operating model for modern enterprises. And we are seeing this across every industry now, from banking, healthcare, manufacturing, retail, media, literally everywhere. So now coming to the next slide, that is the hybrid cloud reality and why it exists today. So let's look at the reality most of the organizations face today. Almost nobody is 100% cloud and almost nobody is 100% on-prem, of course. Most enterprises operate both environments side by side. For example, let's consider the banking sector. Many banks still run their core banking platforms on on-prem because these systems have been built, optimized, and regulated over decades on on-prem. However, those same banks increasingly use AWS for fraud detections, customer analytics, mobile banking applications, and AI-driven customer insights. Another example could be, let's say, manufacturing. Production systems often remain on-prem because milliseconds do matter in this industry. If a robotic assembly line needs an immediate response, sending that request to cloud region hundreds of kilometers away may not be that practical. However, the production data generated locally can be analyzed in AWS for predictive maintenance and operational intelligence. So this is what I call old school meets new school. The legacy systems continue running the business while cloud native platforms drive innovation. And whatever big names you can think of enterprise wise, all of them are following the same practices. And despite all the discussions around cloud migration, there is no overnight miracle. So, moving hundreds of applications, databases, integrations, and business processes to the cloud is not a weekend project, of course. Cost, compliance, operational continuity, and businesses' risk all play a very major role. That balancing act between stability and innovation is exactly why hybrid cloud exists. So, coming to the next slide, that would be why hybrid cloud matters for modern enterprises. Now, let's understand why hybrid cloud matters from a business perspective, of course. The first challenge is cost. Many organizations spend significant resources managing disconnected environments, using separate tools, separate teams, and separate operational processes. The second challenge is security. When cloud and on prem environments are managed independently, visibility becomes fragmented and security blind spots begin to appear. The third challenge is innovation, of course. I've seen highly skilled engineers and their teams spending most of their time in patching the servers, troubleshooting the issues, maintaining infrastructure, instead of building a new product and business capability. A common example I would say is, let's say, an organization that is using one tool for cloud monitoring, another for data center monitoring, and a third for security operations. The result is slower troubleshooting, fragmented visibility, and operational inefficiency. So, hybrid cloud helps address these challenges by bringing together on prem infra, private cloud, and AWS services into a connected ecosystem. In simple terms, I would say it allows organizations to innovate without disrupting what actually works. So AWS as a hybrid control plane is basically the services that are relevant and that enables AWS for this hybrid model. So if we go forward, it's simple that this is where AWS becomes extremely powerful. AWS provides a consistent operational experience across, let's say, on-prem environments, edge locations, and AWS cloud infrastructure. Let's look at some of the key services enabling this. AWS Outsports. It extends AWS infrastructure directly into customer data centers. This is particularly valuable for industries that require low latency, data residency, or regulatory compliance. Now, all of these three fits perfectly for the BFSI sector. Sorry. So, for example, financial institutions. They can keep sensitive workloads local while still leveraging AWS services and operational consistency. EKS Anywhere enables organizations to run Kubernetes consistently across cloud and on-prem environments, as Devansh had mentioned earlier. VMware Cloud on AWS helps enterprises extend existing VMware investments into AWS without redesigning applications from the scratch. This is extremely valuable because many enterprises have spent years investing in VMware based environments. So coming back to the next part, that is why AWS Systems Manager act as a centralized operational layer. So it does for patching it, automation, monitoring, and discrimination. AWS Direct Connect provides dedicated private connectivity between customer data centers and AWS. I usually explain it this way. Let's say there is a VPN that is like using a public highway, and a direct connect is like having your own dedicated expressway. For example, if an ERP system in a data center constantly exchanges data with applications hosted in AWS, direct connect provides like a low latency and a predictable connectivity. And finally, the transit gateway simplifies network management by acting as a central hub connecting both of these multiple environments. The biggest takeaway from this slide is that same tools, same governance, and same operational model, regardless of where workload runs. Coming to the next slide is business reality. the drivers, the pain points, and the challenges that we are going to face while adoption of the hybrid model. So organizations adopt hybrid cloud for strategic reasons, right? They want to reduce costs, they want to innovate faster, they want to remain competitive in the market. However, getting there is not always easy. It has never been easy, in fact. Many teams struggle with limited visibility. Legacy systems often create integration challenges, and security requirements continue increasing. And costs become harder to control as environments grow due to the high cloud costs. An important point here is that cloud adoption alone does not automatically reduce costs. Industry studies consistently show that savings come from optimization, automation, and intelligent workload placement. This is why hybrid architecture is so important. So, hybrid cloud is not simply a technology decision, it is an operational transformation journey altogether. Now, here comes the managed services, the missing piece in hybrid cloud operations. So this is where managed services become the missing piece. Like most IT teams today are already managing infra, networking, security, compliance, backups, monitoring, and business continuity. Now add cloud adoption on top of that, expecting the same teams to also drive innovation becomes extremely difficult, right? So managed services helps solve this challenge, and what organizations receive is 24 by 7 monitoring, proactive support, patch management, security management, automation, and incident response. Uh, think about a typical IT team. Let's take it with example. They're responsible for keeping systems operational every day. When something fails at 2 a.m., somebody has to respond. Managed services providers, they provide that operational scale and continuity. The result is simple. Internal teams spend less time maintaining systems and more time delivering business value. Coming to the next slide, that is what is a managed service provider, or who is exactly a managed service provider? What do they do? What are their characteristics? Think of a MSP provider as an extension of your internal IT team. At cloud.in, we manage AWS environments, on-prem infrastructure, SOC operations, and NOC operations all together. We proactively monitor systems instead of waiting for failures to happen. Security is a major focus area for us. It is achieved through SIEMs, WAF, threat monitoring, and 24 by 7 SOC operations. We tend to help organizations maintain a strong security posture. Cyber threats do not operate only during office hours. That's why continuous monitoring has been critical. Most importantly, we allow internal teams to focus on modernization and innovation while we handle operational management for the customer. Now, coming to the next slide, that is what are the key AWS managed services that are there in the picture when we consider uh, hybrid cloud as an option. Let's look at some AWS services that make hybrid cloud practical for anyone's case. AWS Storage Gateway, it basically allows organizations to connect on-prem storage with AWS storage services for backup, archival, and disaster recovery. A common example is backup modernization. Instead of investing in additional tape libraries every few years, the hardware organization can extend storage into AWS. Now, AWS Data Sync, again, it accelerates the large scale data migration between on-prem environments and AWS. Many enterprises have migrated tens and or even let's say hundreds of terabytes of data using data sync, while significantly reducing the manual effort, of course. AWS Systems Manager provides a centralized managed across hybrid infra. Imagine managing 500 servers across multiple environments, and Systems Manager helps automate patching and operational tasks from a single interface. On the other hand, AWS Direct Connect delivers dedicated low latency connectivity. AWS Security Hub centralizes security visibility and compliance monitoring. And AWS Outposts bring AWS infrastructure directly into enterprise data centers. So together, these services help organization build a seamless hybrid operational operating model. Now, if we'll come to the next slide, that how Cloud.in helps businesses run hybrid cloud smoothly. So on the left hand side here, you can see that these are the on what basis hybrid cloud management area, that what are the basis of that. And on the other hand, there are the tools and services that are being used. And on the third column, you can see that how Cloud.in helps in that specific matter. So this slide shows that how we operationalize hybrid cloud for customers. We combine AWS services, monitoring platforms, automation tools, automate security controls, and operational best practices, as you can see on the screen. Let's understand with this example. A retail organization experience festive season traffic spikes can leverage AWS elasticity while continuing to use existing backend systems. Similarly, if we have to take another segments example, it would be, let's say, a fintech company can use direct connect and storage gateway to create secure backup and disaster recovery architectures while maintaining compliance requirements. The objective is not only infrastructure management, but the objective is enabling business agility. So the next slide is our 4-month hybrid cloud strategy for your business. So one important point I'd like to emphasize on, especially on this slide, is that modernization is a journey. The first month we focus on governance, we focus on ownership and the operational structure of the entire plan. On the month two, we focus on the workload planning. And this is important. This is important because not everything should move to cloud. One of the biggest mistakes organization make is assuming cloud migration means moving everything. In reality, the best strategy is that workload placement. You know, some applications belong in AWS, some applications do belong in on-prem. The goal is optimization, not relocation. Month three, we are focusing on service levels. For that matter, we can consider monitoring and operational readiness of the entire workload. Month four, we are focusing heavily on security, compliance, and governance. Optimization then becomes a continuous process. This phased approach significantly reduces the risk that everyone tends to fear in the migration and the hybrid process or the follow. Now, coming to the very important faction of the entire preposition, that would be the security and the compliance bit. Because let's look at some practical examples. I would like to put an example because my teaching style has everything to do with examples so that clients or customers can get it through with the use case of the industry. So let's look at a few of the examples. In fintech, hybrid cloud enables secure banking environments, right, while supporting fraud monitoring and modern application development. Now imagine a digital payments company during a festive shopping season, the peak season. Transaction volumes may increase several times over normal levels, right? Hybrid cloud allows critical systems to remain secure while cloud resources scale dynamically. Again, in the other segment, I would have to put in healthcare, patient systems remain secure while cloud services enable analytics and modernization. In manufacturing, let's say organization combine local factory floor processing with cloud-based predictive maintenance. In media, which is our strong foothold in, is that hybrid architectures support streaming workloads, content delivery, and large-scale event broadcasting across all industries. The principle remains the same. The right workload should run in the right environment. So I would like Devansh to continue that how Cloud.in can help us into the different industries and how you can leverage us as a partner for your managed services needs. Devansh.
Hi, Gagan. Thank you for the session. So, in this slide, I would like to tell how we have already helped the industries mentioned in the slide, like fintech. It is an industry where there are a lot of compliance. So hybrid cloud is one of the most suitable option for this part, and also for e-commerce as well, because auto scaling during high traffic is required, and real time performance tracking is also required as well. In healthcare as well, there are a lot of compliances which are needed to be adhered. Yeah, so moving on to the next slide. Gagan, can you just switch the next slide, please? Yeah, yeah, I would like to take a few minutes to tell you why you should partner with us. So we have expertise in cloud, on-prem, SOC, and NOC, which are managed together. So if you are maybe a hospital or any organization in the industry where compliances are the main part, uh, you already know hybrid cloud is what you always go for, and we have massive experience in scaling up some of the largest enterprises in India in hybrid segment. So that is the main reason you should look at hosting services for a hybrid cloud setup. We also provide single unified approach instead of multiple platforms. So you don't have to go for a vendor which provides a private cloud or on-prem infrastructure, and then go to another one which provides cloud infrastructure. Also, we have simplified operations with less effort. We have 24 by 7 monitoring for strong security. So we have our own SOC services for any let's say DDoS attacks, ransomware attacks, any malware attacks. We help you deal with all of these attacks and keep your infrastructure secure every day. So you don't have to worry about all these things, and focus on the main business that you have. Also, we are into faster modernization with AWS expertise. Also, you can stay focused on your growth and not operations, like managing infrastructure. Yeah, so that's about it. Gagan, if you can move to the next slide, please. All right, so this is the Q&A. So if you have any questions, you can ask in the chat, or you can turn on your mic to like ask any questions if you have. All right, I think the only option is to copy your like questions in the chat box. Also, we have a QR code which you can scan and give your feedback for this webinar, so we can improve in the future and get you better webinars as well.
There are no questions so far, Devansh. So I guess it was a great session and pretty much insightful. I would like to thank Devansh and Gagan for so much insights and very an explanation regarding the topic. We will see you in the next webinar, and thank you so much.